Hello there, people of God, and welcome back to Raising an Altar Conference 2025. And it is such an honor, such a privilege, such a blessing to be in the studio with ministers who have helped us find our way throughout this conference. And I sit now with two who are very, very dear to our hearts, as they've spent time between our first day and our second day pouring out their hearts and their energy with us. And we're so grateful to have you. We have Minister SUNMISOLA and Minister YINKA. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You guys are absolutely amazing. I mean, your ministry, for us in the studio who were streaming it, some of us, let me even give you an insight, snuck out of the studio and went downstairs and said, okay, let's be a part of the atmosphere. And it was absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I think my first question is just going to be, I think it can cut across to both of you. We've done this for a couple of years now, raising an altar. And the first question I usually always like to ask, because everybody has a different answer, where is your personal altar? What is it like for you, raising a personal altar? Let me have you go first, man.
Raising a personal altar, far beyond, I will speak for us ministers.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that worship starts on the altar. But yeah, it doesn't start from the altar. It doesn't start on the stage. Thank you. It starts from how you've stayed in God's presence. And when I say stay in God's presence, I don't mean, sorry, permit me, but I don't mean to say, okay, you want to pray like you're trying to, what will I say? It's not natural, like artificial. You want to pray because you know you have a meeting, rather than spending time to just be with Jesus and just know Him, not because of what you want to get or because of what you want or because you want Him to go with you. It's a routine, like that's your lifestyle, not just because you have an event or you have something to do. So it starts way before the stage. It's in every day of the week. Every moment, every second, you're sleeping, you're dreaming about Jesus. It's possible.
Yes,
it's in the book of Solomon, Songs of Solomon. You're sitting down talking to your friends and you're thinking the kingdom.
Life in entirety.
That's worship. Everything is centered around Jesus. Everything you're speaking with people, you're speaking about Jesus. You're talking to people, you're talking about Jesus. You're revealing Jesus everywhere you go. You're carrying His presence everywhere you go. So the on the stage is an overflow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's an overflow of exactly.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't start there.
Yeah. Those are not even the most beautiful moments.
The most beautiful moments are not camera moments.
Yes.
They are private moments. Just you and your Father, you and your Master Jesus, having a tete-a-tete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, you see, like, if you look at husband and wife now, the most important moments are when they're alone. That intimate moments, that's when, all the gist and all the, that's when they said
Freedom of expression too. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what the altar means, where you just be with Jesus, not because of His hands, but because of who He is, because you love Him and He loves you first, so it's just a time with your lover, basically, and that's it.
So this is, again, like I said, if because of time I have to be conscious, because I would have this conversation for days if I could with both of you. And I absolutely love, again, your ministries have been so beneficial to me, and we're gonna get into it, but I'm going to be as brief as possible. So our theme for this year is Jesus the Revealer. And I'm going to ask you specifically to each of you individually. I know the first time you answered for ministers, which is understandable, but this is why I'm going to ask you individually is, for you now, you wear many hats. You are SUNMISOLA the minister, SUNMISOLA the actress, SUNMISOLA the thought leader, SUNMISOLA the wife, the mother, SUNMISOLA the sister. You wear many hats. And we've seen the expression of Jesus in different ways to you and through you in all of these different hats that you wear. And that's my question to you now is, number one, what do you think is in all of these hats that you wear, what do you think is the singular way that Jesus reveals Himself to you and through you in all of these assignments? And then very importantly, if you were going to hand over that message to somebody who is trying to find a center and says, okay, I have to pick one, what would that message be?
I think the most beautiful that Jesus reveals Himself to me is as my Father. So it sorts everything out. I'm not coming to Him because I'm scared of him. Yes, he's almighty. He is great. He's amazing. But he died for me. He came in flesh to dwell among us and gave us his life in fullness. So that alone solves all the problem. So I go before him. I'm free in his presence, because who the Son sets free is free indeed. I'm not going chained. I'm not going bound. I'm going because I'm conscious of my identity in him. So yes, that's my favorite.
Then how about through you?
Through me.
In all of your assignments?
Being his emissary. So I will not pick music or no, it's emissary. I'm multi-dimensional.
Whenever I want to.
Let your light so shine.
Yes, so shine before men, that men see and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Absolutely.
So I'm randomly in school and I don't have to introduce myself before they know that I carry the person of Jesus. It reflects. This is the Bible that they see before they even encounter the real Bible. Yeah. So I can be in the marketplace and Jesus is revealed in me. I can be talking to an unbeliever and Jesus is revealed in me. So it's not until we are in our element, so to say, before we showcase the person of Jesus.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that answer. So it's the same for you, because you also take on many assignments. Yes.
Like she has said, Jesus revealed in everything. Like your shirt says, reveals all.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And I would steal from her answer where she says where his emissaries, where his envoys, so in any way he wants me to, show forth his glory, I will show it forth. Either in music, if he says, okay, I don't want you to sing again, I want you to speak, I will speak Jesus. Yes. If he says, okay, I want you to act, I would act Jesus. And mind you, the acting that we did was our first time ever acting,
Really?
Yes, so.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, it was our first time, and so it just lets you know that in whichever way we're not as beautiful as our major, and our, major, what people know us as musicians and all that. But we, in any way if he wants me to start sweeping the floor to reveal him, I'll do that. If he wants me to, whichever way, and that's what matters the most. And Jesus for me, in me, is my lover. And, I'm a lover boy. I just want Jesus, And as much, like my wife's song also says, as much as I love him, I can't love him as much as he loves me. Yeah. So, but I would keep trying, and keep pressing, and, we just love him. And that's all we just want to, we just want to, that's what we want to show forth, basically. Absolutely. Yeah.
And sadly, because of time, I'm going to ask you this as the last question. I wish I could carry this conversation again. I've said that, but I think the last question for me is this. You've also talked about, both of you have talked about the different ways God has revealed himself to you. Jesus has revealed himself through you. I think this is now coming from a personal perspective, and it's going to be a bit personal for you. And I know that I ask these questions to ministers who come, because I know that those personal encounters help people with perspective. And my question to you is, in the different ways that Jesus has revealed himself to you over the years, which could you point out as being the most instrumental to who you are now in ministry, in marriage, in your life? Whatever you feel like influences how you walk in the world now. Do you have a personal revelation that you can remember? And what was it like?
Yeah, I would say it was in my lowest, so far it's been my lowest day. I think it was about 3 years ago. I was at my lowest. I was just depending on God because I'd suffered a huge loss, and it shook me. And I knew Jesus. I knew the person of Jesus, but I was very stubborn. So God had to break me, remold me, fashion me to his taste. I remember that day, I was at my parents, were not married then. And I was just worshiping. I couldn't stop worshiping. I couldn't stop just praising God. And Jesus came into the room. That's my encounter that has helped me even up till now. And Jesus came into the room, and it was a mighty, like, it was a purging. I've shared it with my husband. It was more like he was taking things out and putting things in it. And trust me, from that day, my life has never remained the same again. So it's been partnering with the Holy Ghost, journeying with the Holy Ghost every step of the way. And that encounter formed everything. It was like the gusher opened that day, to my journey with Christ.
So, same question.
So I would. So I used to let me say, be in the marketplace, and up until recently, So there was a period where I transited from Lagos to Abuja. I used to be in Abuja for the longest. I grew up in Abuja basically, so and that season was my waiting season. So and that's why when Pastor was preaching about waiting, it makes so much sense to me because everywhere I go to, I preach about waiting because I think waiting is one of the most amazing mysteries that God has given us. And it applies to I and my wife as well. That waiting season where you think, man, like, you could do something, but God is saying, wait. God is saying, chill, calm down, and you're like, so it was in that process that, God eventually, it was in coming to Lagos, although we had been dating online, but, it was in that process I came, even when I thought I could, put myself out there, God said, no, let's stay. So it was almost a depressing moment for me. But, in that waiting, God gave me, he gave me a burden. And that burden changed my life forever. When I spoke to my wife about it and we decided to worship together, I'm sure you've seen the worship video. That video was a burden. God placed that burden and said, guys, do this. He said, okay, I just want you to worship. And out of obedience, we just came, said it was our phone we actually used. We didn't come to, it wasn't a rehearsal. There was no plan. The funny thing is, the songs we sang on that video were songs that we teach us when we're dating across over. She was in Lagos, I was in Abuja.
So always worship over.
We always worship. I'll be on the piano, I teach her songs. Yeah. We just worship.
All the songs were like
all the songs
an extension from our secret place.
Of our secret place. So there were songs that we used to sing in our secret place. So it was more like we brought our secret place to the public, and it was just obedience, And when we put it there, she said, "Oh, let's just record it," and it was my birthday, August 12th, and she was like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, let me just share this stuff with the world, that's what I want. And that was it. It changed our lives forever, and we can look back to that moment of obedience and, waiting. And we see that, I tell you, waiting, if I'm to tell anybody or encourage anybody, that waiting season is the best thing that can ever happen to you. As one of my friends would say, he said, God hides his best. I tell you. So while you're cooking, be grateful. Because trust me, when you're out there, sometimes you even get, you'll be like, again, I tell you. So enjoy that waiting process, that waiting season. It's one of God's best hidden secrets. I tell you, waiting.
So finally, I selfishly, forgive me, if you could leave one last message, just one last message to the young people, because there's a lot of young people that we reach through this. I understand that it's mostly young people. If you could leave a message to a generation that follows you, a generation that looks to you, a generation that sees your light, what would that be? And I think individually or together, whatever works.
I'll say in simple terms, fix your eyes on Jesus. I say it everywhere. It sounds simple, but honestly, that's all you need to do. Because distractions will come, temptations will come, life will shake you. Situations will test you. Will humble you. But fix your eyes on Jesus. Once you fix your eyes on Jesus, you won't be shaken. You won't compromise. You won't compromise. And you will not trade gold for brass. Or what's it called? The counterfeit. Yes. Yeah, you will not trade your salvation for anything that the devil offers you. Fix your eyes on Jesus. Even when it's testing, even when it's not easy. Try. Try.
I love that. So anything to add?
She said it beautiful. And if you don't, when the pastor was preaching, the pastor that preached before we came up, when she was preaching, she was very insistent on hearing what God has to say. Exactly. And so that was the flow we also used to come in. It's important when you hear God.
Yeah.
Every other thing, you just know that.
And sometimes it takes time.
It takes time.
Once you get it, you have the template to run with.
It takes time. It takes time to host God.
Even for like a decade,
it does.
20 years. Once you get it, you've gotten it. It might take time. Once you get it, you've gotten it.
Okay, so Thank you so much. We like to do this little fun thing. It's fun, but it's also very important. I'll do a fill in the gap for both of you. I'll start with you and I'll end with you. So I'll say a sentence, you finish it. All right, that's all. Jesus the revealer is your...
My father.
That was easy for me.
Yeah, okay. Jesus the revealer is your...
My lover.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So honored.
My favorite power couple, SUNMISOLA
Glory to Jesus.
and YINKA. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
for
So
being here.
honored.